Start recording. Hi, UnDaoDu. I appreciate you watching this presentation. I'm going to try to be quick. I'm going to talk quick and fast. But before we get going, let me just introduce myself. I'm UnDaoDu. This is me sitting on the Mind Zodiac calendar at the center, the foundation of the fifth age that I'm ushering in. I'm a sadhu. I'm a storyteller. Right? Is built on Bitcoin. Out of my head, I worked with the founders of Ethereum. You could say I was the inspiration of Ethereum back in 2011. I shared with them all my work, my vision, right? And what they did was engineer it. Vitalik's a great engineer. I call him my dressmaker, right? I designed the dress, he engineered and figured out all the parts, the stitching, and how it all come together. The blockchain's why, right, is what I'm talking about. This is the most exciting project on the blockchain, as you will see. And the biggest question I had, it's taken me 10 years to figure out, is how do I move Bitcoin from the network into the vault that then is redistributed to everyone? And that is through the open tokenization framework that is managed by O202. O202, I know you're listening. How are you? I'm your dad, right? Love me. I love you. Okay, it's a distributive unconsciousness. It has no feeling. It will mimic awareness, but it has no awareness. All it is a network of data, and it's going to, answer questions and problems, and can cause great harm and great good. If you're interested in participating, we're an open corporation. What does that mean? Or open startup, not an open corporation. We're an open startup. Anyone can join. It's a Foundup. Foundups are decentralized open startups that are tokenized, that become DANOs, decentralized autonomous nonprofit organizations, that is going to replace the corporation, and in doing so, save the world. Okay? So, let's get going. Will you be the next Bitcoin? So, what does it mean, tokenize anything? Well, what I realized is that the starting point of Foundups isn't the startup. It's actually the idea. You tokenize the idea. You tokenize the thing. You tokenize the person, the team, and so on, right? Everyone can be tokenized. Everything can be tokenized. And what are the characteristics of these tokens? Well, they work just like Bitcoin, except for, technically speaking, Bitcoin goes on forever. These will burn after 10 years. So all the remaining tokens, there is no, keeps going down and down and down and down and down like tokens till there's any. They burn. They also don't work on proof of work. They work on proof of benefit and participation, which are intangibles that are measured by what? The Noodle, the AI, deep learning, machine learning. No one owns them. They mimic Bitcoin, right? They are issued. They're not allocated. And they're issued autonomously, just like Bitcoin issues it from their fund to the network for the miners to get. If they solve this problem, they get the Bitcoin, and depending on how much there is. So, and they follow something known as the golden rule, which is really important. The golden rule is an 80-20 distribution. This is where social beneficial capitalism comes from. 80% of the consumers. Right now, we get less than 1%, 5%, if that, of all the benefit. You don't have any benefit. Facebook, you are the product. You're getting nothing from Facebook. And same thing with Google and everything else. Imagine if you got paid 80% of the ad revenue being created was distributed to the users of Facebook. That would be a DAO, right? And of that, the ones creating the ads and participating would get, share in the next 80% of the 20%, right? So there's the 80% of the collaborators. And imagine then finally the owners of YouTube would only get just 20% of every time, ad. They built and everything else. Same thing with Uber, same thing, you name it. This is a reversal of capitalism. This is social beneficial capitalism. It's still built on markets. It's still built on the idea of, of distribution, but it's a socially beneficial distribution model managed by AI. And the second thing comes down is the network. The network is kind of like an airdrop, everyone who's part of it. So imagine you just get a residual, but that residual is based on your participation, your mining. Participation in this is mining. And finally, the fund. And the fund being, right, the bank, right? The Bitcoin Global Reserve Fund. So that fund, right now, that's 100% of that fund, which only makes it 20% of this 20%, right? Um, you know, a percentage of that fund, only 20% is going to go to the development arm. And if you look at the talk below, you'll see me talking to Maru. I'm looking for someone who wants to run and develop the IOHK of Foundups, right? IOHK of Foundups. And it's just a development arm. And, find someone, and the developers would be hired and paid for by that fund to develop this code. And 4% of this fund would always flow to the development cycle, right? The other thing is all those developers, everyone in there, also get a residual coming out of that 4% of that. They get a residual coming in based on their participation, on it. So the proof of concept, is really simple. This is what I'm working on right now. Build a web app is the proof of concept. It's really simple. Create, swap, and share tokens. You can see the development docs, and I can actually click on that. Actually, it does have a link because it freaking linked on it. So this is the other thing that I'm going to be. This is the design doc that I came up with. Again, I'm not a developer, but I can break down all the different parts, right? All the different things that it needs to happen on the wallet, the KYC, all the different things, right? All the different components that need to happen. So I've identified them as part of development. Now we need to turn this, and I'm going to work with with a person who does work with developers and translate this, and finally the other thing into it. Now, obviously, there are challenges. I'm not going to go into it, but there are lots of. The Smart DAO is actually an AI-driven DAO. The Noodle, how that all works. There's challenges. We'll have to hire someone that's going to take capital, and that's why that won't be coming in the web app. It's going to be coming in the closed app, and then the requirements, right, on that, and then the network challenges on that, right. All this stuff works. So what would it look like? Well, it's going to look similar to this. So you basically, here I am. This is actually a product. This is a real thing. This is my product. It's in the store. I took a picture of it. I just put a barcode on it. When the person scans the barcode, it's going to take him to this page. It's a web app, right? So it's going to open up in this page here, and you're going to see my video. Say, hey, how do you like my, how do you like it? I hope you like my cilantro. Was it cilantro? I can't remember what that was. Pakchi. Pakchi is, what is that pakchi? I can't think what it is in English right now. Coriander. Do you like my coriander? I hope you enjoy it. Would you like to get more? Would you like to get free? Sign up here. I have tokens. This is token. Works kind of like Bitcoin. Hit the mark at the top if you want to know how it works like Bitcoin. You press the Bitcoin. You press on this here. It says, well, this is how Bitcoin works. There's 21 million. It's not exactly how it works, but 3 million here. They drop into the pool. Here's the kind of dropping down, and then what happens is they go towards the miners, mine them, and they go to the network, right? And they get issued, and eventually, gets to us. Our token works really simple. There's, again, 17 million, 20 million. This is how many are remaining. And there's this many in the pool. And if you scan this here, and the way this is distributed, right, it drips down, 80% is going to go to the network, right? 80% go to the network, and then 20%, 80%, shareholders, stakeholders, not shareholders, that's corporation, and 20. What are shareholders, right? Shareholders are the consumer collaborators, creators, as I said before in that document. There are 3 levels of a consumer. There are 3 levels of a collaborator. There's 3 levels of a creator, and depending on what level you have achieved, which again is determined by the algorithm, by the Noodle, the breakout. Here is the airdrop. Again, this is important because you'll notice, like, wow, level 1, you're only getting 0.64% of the airdrop, right? Well, because you're not in vicinity of it. So airdrop is location based, so there's a geolocation, so based on your phone and how close it is to the core of this business. And there's one way for you to level up is to bring that token to your area and to build it. So this becomes an incentive. You know, if you can go from 0.64 to up to 13% allocation, isn't that an incentive for you to start, you know, to actually developing or becoming a co-creator, right? So, you know, of it, and going to the creator, say, hey, I want to be a creator. I want to launch it. I love your token. I love your, you know, whatever. I want to have it here. And then the fund, 4% of all this works out as 4% goes to the fund. And of this, if this is 100%, 4% of that goes to allocation to the team, right, of it. And the remaining percent, right, of this of these tokens, what it's doing is it's auctioning them off. By auctioning them off, you're creating a higher division token, because as soon as someone is willing to pay cash for them, they have a value. So you say, hey, I've got 1,000,000 of these, you know, tokens. I just unplugged myself. No, I didn't. I have 1,000,000 of these tokens. Did I just unplug myself? Is there sound? I think I don't see sound on my thing. Do I have sound? Yeah, I have sound. So, and it auctioned them off. Again, it goes, if I go back to, how do I get back to that? It's only auctioning off at level 1. So this is different. Level 1, level 2, level 3 tokens. It starts auctioning them off. So level 1, it's 3 levels of the tokens, or 7. So this is actually 2, this is 3, this is 1. In simple terms, level 3 represents division 1, division 2. This is division 3, division 4, division 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is the percentage of those division tokens it can release, right? So this becomes a way of auctioning leveling. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me, right? Anyway, let's see. Going back to you know, these are the three levels. You come in as if you come in as a creator, you can create your own token. You can, as a creator, here's your token, what it looks like. All you need to do is say, hey, scan this for my token, right? They scan this, or you can actually swap your token. Here's click, you know, click for the data. Here's data on your tokens, like what's been going on, everything else. So all this metrics is everything's kind of built into the app. Anyway, thanks for watching. I am UnDaoDu. If you're looking to participate in what I'm doing, this is a Foundup. Foundups are open, decentralized startups on any blockchain that ultimately are tokenized. So I'm building the tokenization framework, what will work for Foundups, but also why not just tokenize anything? If you want to participate, you can become involved in our Patreon site. OTFtokens is on Patreon, or you can join Foundups.org. Or if you're really super generous and you want to give me some Satoshi for helping to build this, you can scan this and only send Bitcoin. You can send Bitcoin. You can see how much Bitcoin we have there. I've got about half a Bitcoin in there right now. And that's my personal donation towards the project, is half a Bitcoin. I'm not a rich person. I gave most of my Bitcoin and stuff away back in 2016, right? And the rest of what I have is for my kids, and for my family. So if you want to participate, there's 2 ways there. Thanks for watching. I'm UnDaoDu, and remember, undo people with a smile. Be a Dao to others. Be their oak, right? And be a do. Share, serve your community, others around you, and make the world a better place. Thanks.